curiosity, and wonder. Let's discover together. It's Science Wow!
Hey guys, my name is Matt. I am a zookeeper here at Roger Williams Park Zoo in Providence, Rhode Island, and today we're here to talk about our North American River Otters. We have one female here right now. Her name is Mishantu, and she has a litter of 4 pups. The North American River Otter is primarily found around lakes, rivers, maybe some coastline, some shoreline, and river otters, of course, inhabit those areas because they eat primarily fish. And one of the most interesting things about the otters is that their fur has as many as, I think it's something like 350 or 375,000 hairs per square inch of their body. So an area that size. One other thing to look at on our otter are her whiskers, and they are somewhat long but kind of thick, and they can hunt through a sense of touch. So if they're in murky waters, they can feel around, and that's going to be a great way of, say, getting a crayfish. One other thing we have here are 4 Otter Pups. They are about 11 weeks old, and they are born with their eyes closed. They're helpless but fully furred, and they were completely dependent on Mom from the get-go. She nursed all 4 of them. They put on weight at a tremendous pace, in fact, doubling their weight in a week, tripling it in 2 weeks and going from there. So as they grow, they hit certain life stages, but typically speaking, our pups started eating solids around 2 months of age. Their eyes open at maybe 4 weeks or so. They got their first swimming lesson at about 8 weeks of age. Otters, despite being semi-aquatic, don't automatically know how to swim like their mom. They've got a lot of fat in their bodies from growing so quickly and from drinking so much milk that they kind of float. They look like a bloated balloon on the surface of the water, and they get those little legs going, and it takes them a little bit to figure out how to get the right rhythm to swim, how to maybe use their tail and so on. So that's something that Mom helps them learn. She will, if necessary, grab them by the scruff of the neck and toss them in the pool. Our female is a little bit kinder than that. She may, instead of tossing them in, prevent them from getting out. She'll wrap them up, pull them back in, say you got to swim a little longer. As you might imagine, as these otters get older and as food motivated and food possessive as they are, making sure that they all get enough to eat can be challenging. When you have 5 otters, separating them all out into their own individual space can be challenging. So what you want to be able to do is to teach them to stay in one spot and eat what's given to them. One example for you of how these babies learn. I continued to do Mishantu's what we call maintenance behaviors while the pups were with her. One of those maintenance behaviors has her just lying down, waiting for me to slide some food under the mesh of her enclosure, and then she eats it. And they saw her do this all the time. Just for the heck of it, I thought I'd try it. I said, down. And all of those little babies went right down on their chest, paws like so, looking up at me, exactly like their mother did. So they learned just by watching her what they were supposed to do, and it was a breeze giving them their food. Think about wild otters. How are they learning to be otters? We talked about Mom tossing them into the water and they figure out how to swim. But hunting quick-moving fish, figuring out where the crustaceans are, using your whiskers to find them, all these things, otters don't have language. They can't really explain it the way a human could, but they can watch their mom the same way our pups watched Mom to learn that they need to be still to get their food and not fight. So in the wild, maybe an otter is watching Mom. It's figuring out that when she goes over here, she does this down in the dirt and she finds a crustacean. Kids are like baby otters, okay? You're learning through experience. You're learning so much every day. It's probably 10 times what I'm learning every day, 100 times what I'm learning every day, because your senses are open. You're watching everything. You're hearing everything. You're seeing everything. It's the older people who have already learned them that the younger people, the kids, are watching to figure out how to do it. And in fact, I would hazard a guess that if you got out a little journal, and if you keep this journal and you write down how you see other people around you doing things, and you take a look at how you do them, you'll probably find out that the way in which you've come to do things is very similar to the people that you've been observing as you grow, and the way in which they do them. So keep track of it and just see how much you have in common in the small ways in which you do things, affecting the people around you. And I think you'll see that it's a lot.